Hi, Gene Burnett from GeneBurnett.com. A nice chilly day here in Southern Oregon. It's early March. Yesterday we had a gorgeous day, and today it is a bit chilly. Beautiful things blooming and stuff, but it almost feels like it's about to snow. Today I want to talk a little bit about listening to the body before and after you do the form. Really, before and after you do anything physical or involving. It could be a heart-to-heart talk, it could be a yoga class, a martial arts class, a Tai Chi form, a Tai Chi class, a Tai Chi lesson. I do this myself now with my students. Every lesson we start off, I'm going to let that clap. I start off just in neutral. And with my students, which is just a neutral standing position. My sort of quick 3-breath neutral is I breathe in and I find my posture. I breathe out and I relax and soften and settle into my joints. I breathe in again and I let my joints kind of float a little bit like, leaves in the wind. There's just a little bit of space, kind of keeping my joints suspended and loose. And then I really want to listen in and listen to my body. And I do it in 3 different levels. The first thing I do is just check in with my physical self. I just listen for where am I tense, where am I relaxed? What feels tender, what feels comfortable? What feels alive that I can notice, and what feels maybe a little missing or a little blank or perhaps numb. I just don't feel like, for instance, the very back of my head or something like that. I just listen into my physical body and just sort of see how I'm feeling. Then I check in with my emotional self, and I'm just noticing, am I angry today? A little irritated? Am I anxious? Am I scared? Am I feeling some love in my heart, or am I feeling sadness? Just seeing how I'm feeling. Maybe I'm just emotionally neutral. And then I check out my mental state. I just listen in and I see, are my thoughts agitated, racing? Am I preoccupied? Am I thinking about other stuff? Or am I kind of neutral and present in here? And I might cycle through that a couple times, but I take like a couple of minutes just standing in neutral and listening to those 3 levels of myself. Just my physical body, my emotional self, and my mental state. And then, I might come out of it and do a few, swings or whatever, and then I go into the class, or I go into the form, or I go into whatever I'm doing. And then afterwards, at the end of class, or the end of the lesson, or the end of the form, I'll do the same thing. My student will be next to me, or if I'm alone, I'll do it by myself. But I just repeat. I stand 3-breath neutral. Inhale for posture, exhale for sinking and softening. And then inhale to suspend my joints and float up a little bit. Just have that sense of movement in the joints and space. And I check in again. How am I doing physically? Just my sort of anatomical, muscular, skeletal self. And I check in more with my feelings, which is more like my gut, my lungs, my chest, my heart. And then I check in with my mental state and just see how I'm doing. And it's really important here, for me anyway, is that I'm not doing this to fix anything. I'm not trying to change it or analyze it or comment on it. I'm just noticing how I am when I start, and I'm noticing how I am when I finish. And just doing that alone can affect change. These are kind of somatic practices. My wife Samara is studying this stuff, and she's turning me on to some of this stuff, which is really interesting and really cool. But there's also a tradition in Tai Chi of doing this, standing before and after practice. But this is standing with a listening attitude, a curious listening attitude, not trying to change anything, just kind of getting where I'm at, And I might notice afterwards that I'm a little tight in one of my shoulders, or I might notice that I'm a little looser in one of my shoulders, or I might notice that I'm feeling better. I might notice that I'm calmer. I might notice that my legs feel a little bit warmer or stronger. Just to notice these things, I think, is really, really beneficial. Because I think sometimes we get benefits from doing a practice, or doing a talk, or doing a workout, or doing a tennis match, or whatever, but we don't really savor them and notice them and consolidate them and really feel into them. And sometimes things are not good afterwards. You might notice after a class that you stand, you're really kind of agitated and not at home or resting in your body, and you might notice, well, you know, maybe somebody said something during the class, or something the teacher did, or something someone did, or something that triggered in me that had a negative effect, and it might be something worth noticing and paying attention to later when you're in a more analyzing or trying to fix something kind of mode. It also is a nice introduction to the practice and a nice exit from the practice, so that those are smoother and easier. So maybe eventually your everyday life will resemble Tai Chi a little bit more. Your Tai Chi will resemble everyday life a little more. It'll be a little bit less special and sequestered from the rest of your life. You're just paying attention on the inside and the outside, the beginning and the end of an activity. Helps you consolidate the benefits and or things that didn't go so well. It might give you clues about what to practice next time. It also helps you with an attitude of respect. Like one of my early teachers said, pick up the form with respect and put it down with respect. In other words, don't just finish and then, okay, I'm on with my life, you know. And also it encourages listening to the body. There's a lot of wisdom and a lot of intelligence in the body, how you're feeling and what you're doing. There's a great practice called focusing. Get this book, Focusing, by Eugene Gendlin, if you ever want to explore that. It's a very interesting concept. But their idea is that your life wants to unfold, and it wants to grow, and it wants to move in a direction that brings you more health and happiness and, you know, a little peace in your heart and a little flow in your life. It wants to. But whatever knots and traumas and things that you're holding on to with fears and whatnot, they're actually holding it back. And by simply noticing them and maybe coming up with a word or a phrase or an idea that connects to them and articulates them, that shifts can happen in it's almost like your life is somewhat in a knot that wants to untie, but we keep tying it, pulling it tighter. And by listening, you can just help that knot soften and help your life move forward. So doing this just encourages listening, so that you'll be more likely to listen to your body in your life when you're sitting in a traffic jam or at a break, or from work or any time. So I really recommend doing this. Like, stand for like 2 minutes. Check in with your body. Check in with your emotions. Check in with your heart, your mental state. Just get where you're at. You don't have to do anything to it. Do your practice, whatever that is. And then at the end, do it again. I'm beginning to feel like every class that involves the body, every class, doesn't matter whether it's hardcore martial arts or soft yin, tai chi for health, or yoga or what, I think every class that involves the body would benefit from starting and finishing in the same position for a couple of minutes. You know, doing this before a yoga class, doing this after a yoga class, or whatever. Some introspective listening kind of pose, not a firmer up or more rigid pose, but like one of the relaxing ones like Shavasana, where you're just lying back. Like a 2-minute Shavasana to start, then do your yoga practice, then do a 5 or 6 minute to finish. I just think that would be a great idea. I think any class that involves the body would benefit from starting and finishing in the same position with the same attitude, so that you can notice what changes have happened within you. So thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. My website is geneburnett.com. If you're interested in more about what I do, please subscribe to my channel. If you like this kind of thing, I post music videos, nature videos, and more Tai Chi, hopefully helpful videos like this. Thanks for watching.